You hold the cloud, I guess you holding out. Never doubted what I say is what I'm with, it's what you know about. Trance, dollars and bands, the life we don't live till we got the advance. Money is money, but came by its sand. Bodies on bodies, we die in the wind. I seen the gold on the gold today. See who built up an altar, who showed faith, who made it a motor throw on the chain. Cause 100K will make him go insane. I took a trip today. I took a trip where they water whip till it's I gotta know. I just go where I gotta go, and really nothing more, nothing less. And it came down like Geronimo. I stumbled up with all chemical.
Welcome to San Diego State University, the African American Mentoring Program, presenting Squad Goals, Who Now? The Power of Purpose. My name is Asia Jones, and I am a second-year PhD student here at San Diego State University. And I wrote a student success proposal to talk about the triple pandemic, the mental health of Black folks, the COVID-19, and the social injustice that Black people are experiencing in this land. And I wrote a student success proposal. I was awarded the highest student success proposal that was granted in this season. It was over $130,000 that I received to bring different speakers to come speak. And we brought a variety of speakers, but I thought it was very important. A few weeks ago, about a month ago, we did an event called Squad Goals, Who's in Your Inner Circle? With the ladies, and I felt that it was very important to hear the male perspective of the power of purpose and how that affects our mental health, how that drives us in social justice. You're in for a treat tonight. The 5 gentlemen and the moderator that are coming are beasts in the game. I look up to them. I met them on Clubhouse, and it's interesting how God will connect you to different people, even through your education, to make you push through. And so I just want to take the time over to our other moderator, Angelica Williams, who's going to start our program off with introducing our moderators and our speaker for today. And feel free, no pressure. If you want, like our hosts, our speakers would love to see your face, but if you don't feel like coming on camera, we totally understand. This event is being recorded, and so you hear that in a second. But if you need anything, raise your hand. Feel free to ask questions when it comes that time, and I turn it over to Angelica now.
Good evening, everyone. On this wonderful Sunday evening, I'm here to introduce our wonderful panel and moderator that will be on for tonight. Y'all, we are in for a treat. If you have ever been in Clubhouse, you have heard these men speak in the Clubhouse streets, and you know they are super amazing. So let's get ready for our panel, our starting lineup. Up first, we have Pastor Ryan Ford, who was born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina, the founder and pastor of Grace City Worship Center. He is the son of Bishop and Lenora Ford. He is currently a student at Grace College of Divinity, where he is seeking his bachelor's in Christian ministry. He's under the leadership of his spiritual father, Apostle William T. Ford. He's a young man who has a heart of God and God's people. He is the president and founder of the William Tower College Fund, a program designed to financially assist African-American males in their freshman year of college. He has spread the gospel throughout America and on various different gospel television networks. Everyone, Pastor Ryan Ford. Up next, we have Dwayne Williams Jr., a native of Baltimore, Maryland, pastor, motivational speaker, philanthropist, youth and community advocate, brand ambassador, CEO and founder of the Pay It Forward movement, which is a nonprofit organization that endeavors to serve under the privilege of people where blessing underappreciated professionals, founder of 2 podcasts called The Locker Room Talk and The Powder Room, which speaks to male and female counterparts about life, love, legacy. Most importantly, he's a lover of Jesus Christ. Y'all give it up for Dwayne Williams Jr. Up next, we have Elijah Sumo. He's a resident of Atlanta, Georgia, and graduate of DeVry University, where he received a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Information Systems. He is the CEO and founder of Upward Now, a branding consultation and media production company. His work and endeavors have been featured in Essence Magazine, The Word Network, and Voyage Atlanta. He desires to equip the next generation and evolve into the creative digest and conversation with the politicians. These podcasts facilitate thought-provoking discussions. He believes that there is a new wind of innovation on the horizon and seeks passionately to equip the minds of tomorrow. Everyone, Elijah Sumo. Up next, we have Sky Ventura, aka Brandon Coleman. He's a minister, singer-songwriter from Dallas, Texas. While he is a father and husband to Pastor Cora Jakes Coleman, Sky is also a speaker and founder of Apostles Holy Brand and the Feel Alive Movement, an outlet that promotes hope and overcoming through our testimonies. Everyone, Sky Ventura. Up next, we have Corey Hughes. Corey is a speaker, motivator, and leader. He never lets anyone pigeonhole him by title. Corey also offers motivational messages for business owners and budding entrepreneurs. His calling card is his success with 3 businesses: Tax Nation, Phase 2 Sales and Marketing, and Hughes Brothers Trucking. His new book, It Had to Happen, will be available soon. In it, the father of 4 expounds on his experiences with brokenness, molestation, realizing his purpose, and hitting the reset button and charging forward after false starts. Everyone, welcome Corey Hughes. And last but not least, we have your moderator, Christian Unwako. He's alumni of San Diego State University, where he earned his degree in business administration with an emphasis in finance, accompanied with an honors minor in interdisciplinary studies. Christian served in a multitude of leadership roles across both San Diego State and the greater San Diego region. Some of his experiences include serving as the president of San Diego NAACP Youth Council, a founding member of the San Diego State Black Resource Center, and the vice president of financial affairs and president of associate students of San Diego State University. He also is a proud member of the Lambda Iota chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. He currently is working as an associate program director with Thermo Fisher Scientific in Carlsbad, California. Everyone, Christian Awako. Y'all give it up for our amazing panel and starting lineup. Hope you enjoy Squad Goals 2 on tonight. I'm Angelica, one of your co-hosts. Back to you, Asia.
All right, fellas, let's get this game started. And wait, just a point of privilege. Shout out Corey, because you know my pastor, he's on here. Bishop Terrell Fletcher, I see you. Thank you for coming, Pastor. I appreciate you. Christian Onwaku, let's go.
All right, y'all. Well, first off, once again, my name is Christian. I want to say thank you all for coming out. I hope y'all ready for a great conversation. I was able to connect with these brothers before the event started, and not only are they hilarious, they're real. They're going to, give you the real in regards to the conversation of the power of purpose, especially when it comes to your squad. So, brothers, let's get to it. I think the first question I really want y'all to kind of dive into, more just like a topic, if y'all could share or describe like your definition of a squad and your inner circle, and kind of give me your input in what you think that consists of. Anybody?
Not all at once. Not all at once.
Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, now I think and again, thank you so much to Asia, to just the university for the opportunity in this space. I think we dived into it in the prelude of the actual conversation, where I expressed to you, I think the most important thing to pray about is your inner circle, who you surround yourself with. You could tell a lot about a person by the people they keep around them. If you're seeking to be a millionaire, you should surround yourself around people who are there, who are already where you're trying to get, because anybody below you've been down, and so I think it's important, again, not only that we have people who are saved, but they're safe. And you're stuck with your family, but God gives us the opportunity to choose our friendships. And I think it's very vital. But on the flip side of that, as we have to be strategic, we have to be very deliberate about our friends. Even in Jesus's circle, after he prayed all night, he prayed all night and still ended up with a Judas on his team. But one of the things God's really been teaching me, and I will express to everybody who's listening, is you have to learn, when you master and love, to love Judas just like you love Jesus, right? And so we got to really master our love and identify. Everybody has a Judas, but Judas' assignment pushes you into destiny. So I'll let my brothers, I know they're going to dive in, But it's very important that you surround yourself around people who look like where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted to piggyback on it. No, I really believe that that's very key. My squad. When I think of squad, and I think of what that, how that's defined. I think about like brothers who are like-minded, and when I say brothers, I mean brothers, like men who believe in unity, who believe in oneness, and the idea of success and overcoming and accountability. I think that when you talk about my squad, we hold each other accountable, and I think that's one of those things that is non-negotiable. You can't be around me and just be a yes man, or you can't be around me and not really be accountable or responsible for something and someone. I truly believe that. So when I think of squad, I think of a band of brothers who really have a goal in mind for not only their lives but for each other, and really holding each other up and holding each other accountable, for sure.
Yeah, so can you guys hear me? Good. So first of all, big shout out to Asha for putting this together, and big shout out to what I would consider to be my squad. Dwayne, Ski, Elisha, Ryan, Angelica, and I just got a chance to meet Christian. So when I think of squad, I think of people that you're gonna go to war with. So that's why it's important to find those people that have integrity, that have character, that have heart. And I don't know how raw we're going to get, because I'm often very transparent when it comes to a Clubhouse, but I just keep it a buck. I need to know if it's just me and Ryan and 10 cats, I need to know Ryan go swing with me, right? And so if I don't know you swinging with me, then you can't be in my crew. If I don't know that when times get trouble in my marriage, that you go pray for me, or if there's a situation with my family that you'll stand in the gap for me, then you can't really be in my squad. And so it's one thing to have associates, but it's another thing to have people that you call your squad. Angelica graced us with music like we was coming out to play a game. And every person that she introduced plays a position. Elisha's the point guard. He has to handle the ball. Ryan, the shooting guard. When we in the trouble, we give him the ball, he shoot. Dwayne, go hit the block. Ski, go hit the block. I'm going to be the center. And so everybody plays their role. And so I think it's important that you define the characteristics of those that you want in your squad, and you also define the roles of the people that you want in your squad. So hopefully that helps.
I think everyone has done a great job so far in defining what that squad vision, or what that squad, the people in your squad, what just their, who they are, defining their characters, defining who they are. But I want to just add a little bit to it. Those people that are around you are your lifeline. I can look at the people around you and I just tell who you are, where you're going, but I know your DNA by who you're surrounded with, because you look like the people that you're around, the people that are around you. I think one thing, we hear that a lot, and we'll go, I don't do what they do. He's a this and I don't do that. And he's a that and I don't do that. No, but the effect of what they do is also what's on my life, even though the way I get to it isn't the same as them. And so it's important to make sure that the people that you have next to you and the people that you have around you, where they're going in life and also where they are in life. I would surround, I'm gonna be honest, the people I surrounded myself with, my life didn't change until the people around me were in better position than I, right? My life didn't change until the people that I talk to daily, as long as I was always the one handing out advice, I was stationary. I was in the same place. I wasn't going anywhere. At the time that I now realize, hey, I can call somebody in my circle and get help. I can call I don't have to figure this out anymore by myself. Once that changed, my life started to elevate, because my life started to look like the people who were next to me. So that's the other thing I want to add to what they've said. And I mean, I don't want to exhaust the topic, but the truth of the matter is the people that you call close to you are your lifeline. Imagine plugging into a bad socket. At some point, the power is going to go out. And I have too much to do for my power to go out. So I have to be plugged in to the right people.
For sure. Dwayne, did you want to jump in on this? Are you good or?
I'll start the next question off. I think they covered it all. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. I got you. So I'm gonna throw this to you. I know, like, kind of, growing into myself as a young man, your squad changes from time to time. I know Elijah, you kind of just touched on this right now. Dwayne, are there like key components that you think are essential to a friendship being true? Besides, like, I know for me, it was like always having to determine if you're a believer or not. Like, that's a problem for me. And that's just me being respectful. I can be associates with you, but I can't call you in my squad if you're not really a believer. Are there any key components outside of, faith wise that you think is essential to a friendship?
Well, I might as well stir the pot just a little bit. Can I challenge you on this? Why is it that the unbeliever can't be our friend? Is it because they don't believe?
It's not that
we believe. And so no, you asked the question. I just want to answer because I got what you're saying. I just want to kind of raise a different element in the room. I think that when I look at the key components, it's not necessarily whether they believe or they don't believe that I look at. I want to know where their moral values stand. Because one of the things that I have faith in is who I am. I got faith in who I am. I got faith in who I am. Call it arrogance, call it whatever you want. I got faith in who I am. So the faith that I got in myself is, even if I encounter an unbeliever that may not believe like me, I'm strong enough in my belief that at some point in time, what's going to happen is either I'm going to wear him or her down, or I'm going to wear him and her down. See, I ain't changing. You understand? I'm going to wear them. I'm going to wear them down. And what I'm going to wear them down with is not so much my biblical presentation. I'm going to wear them down with my actions and my love. And so when I look at friendship, I want to look at it from a place of where's their love? Where is their language? Because I found this, and this is just me, Christian, and I hope we can have a conversation about this later behind the scenes. I found that some of my best friends were the ones who didn't believe like I believe. Because here's the thing, they got the moral principle instead of the faith principle. Many people get the faith principle, but don't exercise the moral principle. And so when you have faith principle, but no moral principle, you're just as guilty as someone who has no faith principle and no moral principles. And so I think that one of the things that I'm looking for is who this individual is morally. And then it's nice. It's nice. It's a bonus. It's a plus. I hear the religious people on the other side of the wall talking like, Dwayne, you crazy. But I think it's a plus that they believe, right? Because now I know we can walk in agreement with, in our belief, but I'm strong enough in my belief that if they did not believe, I'm okay with knowing that they have sound moral beliefs. And let me throw this out there, Christian, because many people don't believe this. You do know that there are some people who are great people in their moral response, but don't believe in Jesus. Okay, I kind of want to just throw that out there because there are and this is not a biblical presentation, but when the Bible says that all won't see the kingdom of God, it's not that the people who won't see it don't have moral compass. It's just that they don't believe in him. Shush. Corey, I'm gonna stop. Elijah, I'm gonna stop. It's just that they don't believe in him. That's why they won't make it in. It's not that they won't make it in because they don't believe in cussing. There are people who don't believe in cussing, who don't drink, who don't smoke, who are honorable to their wives, but they just don't believe in Jesus. So for me, what I'm looking for is people. It's nice that they believe in Jesus, but I want to know where their moral compass is. I want to know where their character is. I want to know this. If I tell you a secret, that it stays with you as a secret. Watch this. I don't even want it to go to your wife. Because here's the reality. Women have the compensity, depending upon what state they in, to surrender information. I'm sorry, women. I know y'all don't want to hear this today. I'm sorry, but I'm stirred. I'm sorry. They have the capacity to surrender information. So I need to know that it stays with you. The only time she should find out is if you're in a hospital bed with an IV in your body and the doctor said you got 2 hours to live, then they should tell. I'm done. If we was on Clubhouse, I would end it like this. These are my thoughts. They're kid tested, mother approved.
Hey man, I would great perspective, Dwayne. I see we've gotten him fired up very early. But to your question, man, there are two kind of people, man. There are people who solve problems and there are people who cause problems. Anybody in your life that is not helping you solve a problem should not be in your inner circle. I say this all the time. Those who are on the stage, they hear me say it. But I live by this. I teach this. I base my relationships by the Bible. Two are better than one. So anybody that is in your life should in some way be making you better, wiser, motivated, inspired to be a better person. That goes for relationships as well. You know, when a man is looking for a wife, he's not looking at just looks. Looks are cool, but we'll look away at some point in time if you're not making us better. We're into it. And again, I said again. Now, on the other side, when we talk about friendships, I look at loyalty. You know, do you, Dwayne alluded to it. Can I express weaknesses and you take it to the throne and not back at home? You know, loyalty is if I say I got your back, no matter the circumstance or even in the mood, I set it in changes. I got your back. And I just feel when I look at relationships, some people allow their loyalty to become lethal because they're loyal to people who are not loyal to them. So I look at loyalty and I look at, does this person make me better? And I think if you base your friendships, your relationships around that, you'll be in a solid condition.
Yeah, no, I agree. If I can keep it G, man, I spent a lot of time dealing with, the heart issues, and with that, I've pulled in a lot of people who weren't loyal, who weren't this or that. So I think one of the things that I found that makes a good friend, I think Dwayne, like Dwayne said, being a believer is great, but true enough, I believe that the standard of what you hold, I believe in your character. I believe in the loyalty and trust. I believe those things make a good friend for me. Somebody who does care about the well-being of someone else other than themselves in a way, like I said, that allows them to be relied on. So reliability is something that makes a good friend for me. Knowing that I can count on you. If you give me your word that you're gonna fulfill it. Those things make for a good friend. Like I think that Dwayne said it though, but you being a believer, even better. I come from the streets, so it's you meet a lot of people going through a lot of different transitions, and one of the things that I found is that I found a lot more vulnerability and truth in the people that I found in the streets more than I did with the people that I found in church. Not to say that all church people are the same way. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there's an authenticity that comes with being a real friend or a real, partner when it comes to brotherhood that I look for in a friend that means way much more than you putting on a stamp of Jesus Christ and saying I'm a Christian, but you don't show it in your love, or you don't show it in your actions. You don't show it in your giving and your sowing. It means so much more. So I think those are the components for me, for sure, and respect, for sure. For sure, we got to have a mutual respect and respect for life and things around us. Those things right there are priceless, and that's what I think what makes a good friend to me, for sure.
I just really believe that we live so much life outside of the church, but we train those in the church to live life as if they were living in the four walls. And it's something I really don't understand. You're going to spend it. Let's do some quick math and kind of figure out how much time we spend in church. I'm going to go to Bible study on Wednesday. That's 1 hour. I may go to prayer on Friday. That's 1 or 2 hours. And then I'm going to go to Sunday. If depending on your church, you have one service, you have two. For those of us that are in leadership, we're in every service. So that's both services. So for no more than about 5 or 6 hours a week are allocated to me actually being in the church building. But yet I make all of my decisions on 6 hours of a week. Now that's if you're in leadership. If you're, we're talking about getting married and things of that nature. You need to find somebody that's a man of God and that's powerful, or a woman of God and that can just pray heaven down. Well, you can only use that for 6 hours in a week. And so we have to start making life decisions that are determined by life. you know, all of us love God. Every single one of us. Do not ever get that mistaken. But you have to live life and you have to do it well. We are assigned to be accountable for the life that we live, for the impact that we leave behind. And matter of fact, we're assigned to be accountable for what we leave behind to our children's children. That's an assignment. And I know, you know, a lot of us, we live life for ourselves, and we're going to do what we're going to do. But the truth is, we are assigned to be accountable for what we leave behind us. And that's going to take people that will stand next to you, that will hold you accountable. Sadly enough, many of us in church just aren't equipped enough to be the kind of friends that we need for the assignments that we say we carry, right? Many of us are not equipped enough to close our mouths when we hear something. Many of us are not equipped enough to keep on walking by something that's not our business. As a church, we tear each other down with our own blocks. I'm gonna say that one more time. As a church, we tear each other down with our own blocks. Own blocks that we've created to tear each other down. What am I trying to say? You have to make decisions for life by life. Stop making decisions for life by church. Let's make decisions for life by life. And then this is my second point. I'm gonna leave it alone because Dwayne started the pot, and you know, if he jumps in, I'm gonna jump in with him. That's what your squad does. There is no way that the wealth of the wicked that's laid up for the righteous can be grabbed by the righteous if you're not attached to the wicked. You know, and that's just one thing. There's so many other statements in the Bible, but we're supposed to be light in the darkness. We're supposed to be this and this and that, but we are allergic to anything that doesn't look, sound, and smell like church. And I'm trying to figure out, how do we make a real impact, and how do we meet people that will pull us to where we're going if we're only attracted to a shout and a tongue? To me, it doesn't make sense. We have to, at some point, and here's the truth of the matter, we have to come out of being comfortable. A lot of the ways and the things that we do and the way that we live because it was given to us out of comfortability, and we live in it through comfortability. We got to get uncomfortable, and we have to get into spheres. Here it is that we're called for. I'm not called to every sphere that Corey is. I may die in some of the spheres that Corey's called to. He's called to them, not me. And I have to have the discernment to connect myself to the spheres I'm supposed to be in and the people I'm supposed to be in. There's some places that we're supposed to be and some things that we're supposed to bring back to the kingdom, but you have to get out to go do that. Once again, I'm going to say the wealth of the wicked got it. It's ours. You cannot get it unless you're at the table. You have to make it to the table.
No, you're speaking big facts. I love that.
That was big facts.
Yo, so what I'll do, Christian, I'll make mine extremely quick. I was going to say something completely different, but Elisha just really prompted me to say this, that what makes a good friend in one season doesn't make a good friend in the next season. And so you got to be very careful.
Hey, man, watch your tone, man.
Careful that you don't carry old friends into a new season if they haven't become new as well. I mean, the scripture is very clear. God doesn't put new wine in the old wineskins. And I think what happens is you got to be careful because all of us evolve. All of us are nascent. All of us are becoming. And so when selecting your squad, number one, you've got to be okay that sometimes those positions may be interchangeable. Sometimes who used to be your point guard may evolve into being your center. Who used to be your forward may no longer even be on your squad. And so you got to understand that who you're friends with in high school and in college may not be who your friends are when you get married or when you get in ministry or when you begin to pastor or when you go through your midlife crisis or when you go through menopause. And so just keep this in mind that friends and your running definition of friendhood may change depending on you. My friends back in the day was the friends that would fight for me. Like you couldn't be my partner if you wouldn't box with me. But now I've evolved past the boxing stage. Now listen, I don't want no smoke, but I keep a gas mask, but just understand I'm not living in that right now. And so that no longer defines whether you qualify to be my friend. At this stage, I'm probably the elder statesman of the group. At this stage in my life, what makes you a friend is accountability. can you challenge me? What I love when I hear Sumo talk is that his articulation and the way his mind works, it challenges me. You not only can you challenge me, but can you correct me if I'm wrong? Ryan, Dwayne, I've developed a relationship with these brothers where if I'm in the wrong, I will yield myself, even though I'm older, because a friend should be able to correct you. So they should be able to correct you, challenge you, and then cut you or cut somebody for you if they're really a good friend. But at this stage, you got to take care of your kids. If you a father and you ain't taking care of your kids, you can't really be my friend. Like, I want you to be faithful to your wife. And if you're not faithful to your wife, don't let me know about it. And if you let me know, don't tell me about it from a bragging perspective, because now I'm going to question your character and whether you can really be my friend, because then I'm going to step into that challenge and correction. And if you can't take being challenged and corrected, then that means we're really not friends, because what friends do, they make you mad. And y'all remember, come here for a second, Dwayne. You remember back in the day when you would box your friend on Friday and y'all would be playing PlayStation together on Saturday, right? And so at the end of the day, you got to be able to—
the knot that he left on your head on Friday.
It's a knot right there, right? It's a knot right there, but it's all good because you're really friends. And so friends survive the storm with you. Friends don't abandon you when you're wounded. Friends don't talk about you when you're down. Friends don't look at you when you're depressed and call you weak. And so for me, what I qualify as a friend is different in my 40s than it was in my 20s. And so I'm not in church, but I would say, dearly beloved, understand this, that your friends may change. And if your friends change, don't be upset, because you should be changing. And that's just part of it. And the reality is the people that started with you won't always finish with you. But the most important part is that you finish yourself. I'm done.
Yo, you said something real good. I hope I have the freedom to piggyback on that. But you talked about change. I grew up, man, when I was growing up, you know, that was one of the things that people would use against you is, oh, you change. But what I recognized is those aren't, like you said, friends. Friends are people who see your growth and who applaud it. People who applaud your growth and who applaud your success, and they're not mad or hating at the fact that you evolved, because true enough, we're supposed to evolve with each other if that's our calling, if that's our destination. But I recognize you can't take everybody with you, and that's why I really learned what definition. What's up, man? That's why I really learned what a definition to further my definition of what friendship was when I started recognizing those relationships. So I recognized what I needed and what I wanted out of the things that I received that I didn't want, and what I recognized I didn't need. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because I don't think that's brought up enough. So thank you for bringing that up, bro.
Hey, man, I'd like to just piggyback real quick. I know we're shifting to the next question, but everything in your life should be progressive. You know, it was always God's intention that we grow. And I think a lot of people, what happens why friendships break down is because you grew and they never did. You know, and anytime you try to put on shoes that don't fit, you're always going to end up hurt. But everything in your life, insects grow, you know, tadpoles, caterpillars turn into butterflies. And so if insects are growing, how much more concerned is God with growing you as his children? And so you got to make sure everything connected to you is being progressive, that is growing, because if it is not growing, it's dying. There are no in-between. So I think Corey made a great statement. And then I want to say this as we transition, that you got to surround yourself around people, especially as leaders, who respect your humanity and your divinity. You know, one of the young men that are watching right now is one of my spiritual sons at the ministry. And this guy is with me 24/7 on the basketball court. When I'm not Pastor Ryan, praise God. Because if you found me a little too many times, it might, but
he might say something. My goodness.
I might, and guess what? He's right there with me. You get what I'm saying? He's 6'4", 270. And what I'm saying is you got to surround yourself. But when I'm in the pulpit, he respects that anointing, that grace. But he's also able to allow me to walk in my humanity as well. And so, man, I just wanted to point that out as well, man. Great conversation, great perspectives.
Hey, can I piggyback on Ryan? What Ryan is really saying is, I need friends who can handle multiple levels of who I am. Because I know I love Jesus. I know that they love Jesus. All my brothers, they love him. But sometimes in my humanity, it will show up.
Sometimes, Dwayne. Sometimes.
In my humanity, It will show up because Ryan, I just got
My humanity never shows up, Dwayne.
the basketball court. Yeah, I just got delivered from the basketball court about 6 years ago because I had knee surgeries to my patellas, so I can't play. So I don't. So they don't foul me. So I don't have the need. I don't have the need to cuss nobody out on the basketball court because they foul me too hard. However, on the golf course, I am liable to say something because sometimes there's some racist activities that go on the golf course, and I've got to find that divine nature sometimes and be like, Lord, I will remind them of Rodney King if they keep on messing with me.
Wow.
You understand? So what he's saying is I need people that understand all levels of me in different environments and know that
and still respect the anointing that's on my life.
Still respect.
Because Dwayne, watch this.
Yes.
We saved, but we ain't soft. Praise God.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
That's got to be the next. That's what I should have titled
try
the
me.
clubhouse
Try
room.
Jesus.
I should have the title of the clubhouse room was "Saved, but we ain't soft."
Because
my God. That's
Go ahead, Christian. I'm done. I'm done.
No, y'all are fine. Y'all are fine. Like what y'all preaching right now, and that's why I'm like, we I'm trying to bring it back because y'all so many different sermons. But Elijah, did you want to keep going? Go ahead.
And I got Corey has that innate ability to make you think, and making me think. I want to go here right quick because he started going there, so I'm gonna go there all the way. Ryan plays, Dwayne has played, I've played, still coach and train basketball. Let's just be honest, on a basketball team, and essentially all of us as human beings, that's what we are. On a basketball team, you have all kind of teammates. For the betterment of the team, somebody at some point will be traded. For the betterment of the team, there's going to be a nucleus of the team, meaning there's going to be role and star players that play every single night. For the betterment of the team, matter of fact, for the betterment of yourself, you're going to pull into yourself several people that you just align with the most. Everybody isn't your friend, and everybody for sure is not your best friend, but they're all your teammates. It is your job to have the discernment to say, this is the people, these are the group of people, this group of people right here, I'm going to pull in and make my this, my that, whatever. And then I'm going to go to Jesus and be done with it. I'm going to be quick on this one. I'm going to go to Jesus. You have to have the discernment to know that I'm going to preach to 5,000. I'm going to have 12 buddies. I'm going to have 3 that I keep around me, but I'm going to have 1 that lay on my chest.
Ah, my God.
That's hey, strong. Man, I gotta say this real quick, man, because I feel somebody needs to hear it. I think social media, your Facebooks, your Instagram, especially Facebook, has desensitized what a friend really is. Just because we're friends on social media does not mean we're friends in real life. It is not until that friendship has been tried by the fire. The Bible says, a friend loveth at all times. I got to preach in 20 minutes, y'all. So that means I can't validate you as a friend when everything is going right. It's only when I need you, when you're willing to sacrifice at some point and inconvenience yourself to help me out, that we can validate what friendship it really is. So every friendship is going to be tried through the fire. It's not just growing through, it's going through. And so I just wanted to throw that out there, that friendships are validated, not when things are going right, but when you're at the darkest, weakest moments of your life. Are they willing to inconvenience themselves to help you out? That's what friendship is.
Yeah.
And to go on that, Ryan, that was a great point that you just brought up. I think we, especially my generation, we have trouble being able to kind of break down that social media real life expectation. And it's caused a lot of unhealthy relationships. When is it as Black men that you're able to say, okay, this relationship is no longer healthy for me, so now I need to move forward, as I can no longer give energy to something that is killing me and that is knocking me down and not allowing me to grow into the man that not only God has me to be, but that I see myself growing into. If somebody could touch on that as well.
I think it's really simple for me. And man, I have the fortunate privilege of being mentored by, in my opinion, one of the greatest leaders this planet has ever seen, Bishop T.D. Jakes. And he said something quite often, that when loving you starts to hurt me, then I've got to really reconsider loving you. And what I mean by that, not to suggest to someone that may misinterpret the context of my statement, not to suggest that love doesn't hurt and love is not sacrificial. But when I find myself perpetually giving to you, and I can't locate reciprocation, then that becomes a problem. So for me, when the relationship is not reciprocal, then it's time for me to move. When the relationship is withdrawal only and no deposit, then it's time for me to move. When I discover that the very core values don't align any longer, then it's time for me to move. I knew, Christian, I knew instantly when you said that, I'm on Zoom, so hold on a second. I knew instantly when you said, Christian, that your friend needed to be Christian. I knew either Dwayne or Ryan was going to unmute because I knew I felt it in the spirit that they was going to come on, because the reality is you start to discover that true friendship is not stitched in religion, but true friendship is stitched, in my opinion, as Ryan says it, that it's got to be tried by the fire. Right. And so the moment I'm in fire and you're not a fire hydrant any longer, that means we're not friends. The moment I'm in fire and then you can't bring water, that means we can no longer be friends. And so I like to define friendship, right? The true value, the true essence of what friendship really is. Someone that's going to walk through the fire with you. And if I get burned, I just get burned because you my dog. And the moment that I feel like you won't do that anymore, I have to question my connection to you, because all of us on this stage, all of us in this audience has unfortunately been a victim of a one-sided relationship before, and that is not fun. I'm going on mute.
I think we have to how can I word this? We have to set a different marker on how we consider and how we look at and how we track our progress. I think that's the first thing, Christian, that would really help us, because Corey just raised a great point. If it's killing me to love you, I got to leave it alone. Now that's amazing, but I don't know if I don't track this well, and if I don't really do the work to understand my progress, then I really don't know if I'm dying or if I'm living. You have to be able to know the different, what's changing, what's being added, what's being taken away. I don't think we do a good job tracking our progress. I think we should know everything that an individual has either added or taken away from our life, whether it be family, whether it be marketplace, spiritual, mental, emotional, every piece of our life that's affected by people. We should be able to track every decision we made, either because of them or through them, that has affected our life in one way or the other. And Christian, to answer your question, at the place where I realize that this connection is taking more than it's adding to, it's time to go. At the moment that you realize that this is more so a liability than adding to a portfolio, it's time to let this go. It's time to let anybody go that isn't pushing you forward and propelling you into what's next. And you don't even have to lose my number. I'm blocking you. You don't have to do all of that. You just have to stop and remove access. When we talk about friendships, we talk about squads, we talk about inner circles, all of these other things. All of those things are just different levels of access. And you've got to scale a person's access to the place that they're affecting your life in a positive dimension. The woman that affects your life in the most positive dimension, as a brother, you make her your wife. What have you done? You've given her the ultimate level of access into your life. Why? Because you felt that she was adding more and much more than you could ever get from anybody else. And that's the same thing we have to do in our friendships. In our friendships, the people that you add and you give the most access to, they should be adding the most positive, they should be pushing you the furthest. I want the ones that are making me go next to me. And they make me go every single day. Every time I see them on social media, I'm like, my goodness, I'm not going hard enough. And these are those kind of brothers. It's constantly something else. It's constantly something new. I'm constantly cooking something. And so what am I going to do? I have to look in my backyard and say, am I doing everything I possibly can in order to move forward? Because if I don't move, they're going to leave me behind.
Yeah. Sumo, matter of fact, put your Cash App on there, man, my brother. No, it's so funny, man. You were talking about access. That was one of the points I wanted to really bring up. But the idea that if I give you that position of friend, I've allowed you in a certain space, which means that I've allowed you to have a certain amount of impact, right? So, and when you talk about friendships, you're talking about a relationship that feeds one another. It's interdependent in a way. And so I get to recognize if a thing is good or if it's toxic, if it's dying out based off of the producing. All right. You tell a tree by the fruit it produces. All right. So with that being said, I get to see how you evolve. I get to see how you decline. I get to see how you elevate. I get to see your reflection in me as well. Honestly, if I get to call you my friend, there are things that we bounce off each other that innately, like, you pick up on without even, maybe even subconsciously. So whether it's my effect on you and it changes your actions, or it changes how you present yourself or carry yourself, or whether it's how you impact me or influence me in those ways, I get to see the impact of our relationship. So, and really, really great point to you guys to say that the moment that I see that the transition of this relationship impacts me in a negative way, especially on a consistency, like, don't get me wrong, we all have bad days, right? So it's not like, it's not like, we can't go through our seasons, but it's to say, this is your choice and this is what you've decided to live in. This is how you decided to live in this thing. And it no longer is conducive to the trajectory and the position that I carry, the mantle, even as believers, my God, the mantle that I carry, then that's when we know that there is a new transition in where we stand. And sometimes that is, Corey talked about trade. I'm a basketball guy too. Sometimes we got to let things go in order to receive what is really for us in destiny. And hopefully everybody wants their friends to go with them, right? But true enough, what I found in my life, I try to help everybody. Believe me, I'm a Superman, and I got this complex. But that's something that God has been working on me on, is I believed in things for people more than they believed in it for themselves. And it became toxic from my standpoint then. It became toxic from my standpoint. So whether you affected me and I affected you, and they were both negative. So I had to realize that some things we got to shake off for the seasons. Some seasons we hope will last a lifetime. But seasons are seasons, and we don't know when they end, but we know that when they do come, that we have to see what's happening so that we can let things go, so that we can really live and grow. Because that's the only way a tree can grow. Got to share some things.
Amen. Well, thank y'all for y'all responses. It's been a great conversation. Y'all been inputting a lot. I know we have a question from Bishop Terrell Fletcher. Bishop, if you wanted to jump on and ask your question to the panel.
Did he type a question? Hey, let me while we waiting on Bishop Christian, can I ask the panelists a question?
I think he's on right now. I got you right after this, Corey, but I think he's on right now.
Okay.
Well, he was. He just went back on mute.
Hey, Bishop, you there? You got to unmute. You got to hit the little mute button in the corner.
This ain't Clubhouse. You got it.
And the same rules apply. My God.
I'm gonna give him like 15 seconds. If he can't ask Corey, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Asia, do we know where he is?
I can see him. There
Yeah.
he goes. He takes his mic on and then it comes back off.
Can you guys hear me? I do apologize. Yeah. I got kids. I got young kids, so I apologize. Can you guys hear me?
Reverend, you coming too strong.
Loud and clear.
I got young kids. My 1-year-old decided he was going to start tinkering around with the microphone. I do have a question. One, this is enlightening dialogue, so I appreciate you, brothers. But my question is going to be a spinoff of something that Brother Corey said. Given the evolving nature of friendships, meaning that a friend in one season may not necessarily be a friend in another season. My question to you guys would be, what are some practical ways when you sense the season for friendship is closing? What are practical ways to make that breakup? All right. That's my question. God bless you guys.
I'm not a good one to answer this one because I think
because it really is a breakup. Okay.
Sumo is a little bit more diplomatic.
Sumo is very diplomatic. That's why they call him the politician. You understand?
I think the first thing that we have to recognize and notice is from a holistic standpoint, we aren't good at recognizing seasons. And that's the first thing I want to say, and the first thing I want to pose as a thought to us. We have to become better at not just recognizing seasons, but actually turning with the tide. Many times when God is ending a season and starting another, we hold on so tight to that last season, he literally has to snatch it from us. I'll say this, lot of relationships,
AKA the pandemic.
I'll leave it alone, Doc. I'll leave it alone. A lot of relationships end very sour because you didn't end it right the first time. And when God had to end it, he ended it. And there was some hurt. There was some residue left behind. There were some things that were unnecessary if you would have been obedient the first time. And so I think for us, the truth of the matter is you can leave it diplomatically the first time. But that second time, he's going to allow something to happen, and it's always uncomfortable. And, you know, with us, we're not really good in uncomfortable situations. We you know, our voices start to go up a little bit, and we start to use words that are not in the Bible, except for maybe one or two. So, you know, a couple things change when there's some hurt in the mix. But the truth of the matter is, if you want to do it right, do it the first time. And just let it be known that, hey, I appreciate what this is. The level of access is just going to change. And it's something, if you value your future, and if you value whatever your vision is, whatever it is that God has given you, and whatever it is that you know you're supposed to do on earth, if you value that, you will value that more than the people that you have around you. As much as I love Corey, as much as I love Dwayne, as much as I love Ryan and Sky, and now Christian, as much as I consider these men to be fine men, if God were to say, go sit your behind over there, I'm going to listen the first time. Because if he has to put my behind over there, it's going to be painful for everybody in the mix. So I'm going to take myself out the mix, say, hey, this is what I need to be doing. For an example, Ryan is here. We were all killing on Clubhouse for a moment, you know, doing what we were on just about every day. And it was amazing. And I came into a season where I received it about clear as day. You need to sit down. You're letting go of too much that you don't have the virtue for right now. Go sit down. And I called Ryan, and I said, bro, I love y'all and I love kicking it with y'all. I have to take a seat back. I will be scared to figure out what it looks like to be seated. And here we are today. So you just have to understand, and you just have to have the obedience to do it the first time. And you can always do it with a good conversation before it becomes a bad situation.
Hey, please high five me, Elijah, and let's do this. Elijah said a mouthful, y'all, and I'm only going to take what he said. Him and Ryan are a little bit younger than me. Then me and Sky the same, and then all of us are a little bit younger than Corey. So that gives y'all the parameters for how old Corey is.
Wow. Hey man, mute your mic, man.
And so Bishop Fletcher, I want to say this, Bishop Fletcher, because Elijah is absolutely correct. I want to walk us through just this, and then I'll shut up. I think that where Elijah is a mature place, right? Where Corey is a mature place. Ryan, Sky, myself, Christian, and even others in this Zoom call, to be in that place that Elijah talked about, where you hear God and you instantaneously move. That's a big and a mature place. That's a big and a mature place. But can I be honest with you? Not everybody is there. Now, here's the crazy part. Everybody knows that they should be there. Everybody has inclination and knowledge that they should be there, but not everybody acts on that. I want to speak to that person who is not like a Sumo, who's not like a Corey, who's not like a Bishop, who's not like a Ryan, who's not like a Sky, who can say, look, I know what it feels like to prolong this. So in prolonging this, I'm going to just cut it because God spoke. But I want to speak to the person who's like, I know I should let this go, but I don't really want to. Here's the practicality. Thank you, Bishop Fletcher, for this question. The first question I would ask that individual is, what and who is more important to your life? Because if I can get them to think about what and who is important, then I can get them to release what they're trying to hold on to. Here's the truth. Elijah says something that I've been guilty of. How many of us have stayed in any relationship where we felt the tension early? How do you know you felt it early? This is how you know you felt it early, Corey. Because you asked her or you asked him, you said, hey, if I moved to another state to do ministry, would you go with me? And they was like, well, that was a sign right there. But because we were so caught, I'm a preach to Dwayne, because we were so caught up in her figure, my God, today, come on, let's talk. Because we were so caught up in the way that she smelled, how she walked, we was like, well, God, can't we work through this? We fell into a place of trying to get God to make a deal with us. Can we just work through this? And I don't think we just take that same perspective into romantic relationships. I think we take them into friendships too. And there are sometimes in our friendships, because there is a benefit package to us being friends that we don't necessarily want to let go. So the truth it becomes hard for us to let it go, because just maybe me being friends with them keeps me connected to the church. It keeps me connected to platforms. Just maybe being connected to them keeps me connected to Bill Gates. But what happens, Bishop Fletcher, you asked a great question. What happens when God says, let it go? I think the first thing the person got to ask themselves is, who and what am I? And if you can answer with this, I am a child of God who's already had a destiny before I ever met this friend. That means I'm going to walk it out. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it. That means I'm going to walk it out before I ever get to or ever realize that this friendship, whether I have it or not, it is not contingent upon my destiny. And part of the problem with us, Bishop Fletcher, for what makes it so hard for us to let it go is because we think that people are more important to our destiny, not realizing that God is. So here comes practicality. One, I'll ask myself, who and what is more important? Number two, I would weigh, Corey is so crazy. I would weigh the benefit factor to what God wants me to do and what my friends want me to do. What do you mean? I was in a relationship with a young woman that I really loved. And I started, when I had a moment, Sky, Corey, Elijah, Chris, Ryan, to step outside of it, Bishop Fletcher, and not look at the moment, but look at the whole external of the relationship and the internal of it. I realized that the truth was she was asking me to do stuff that was outside of what I would normally produce because of where her faith was or because of where her intellect was. And so that made me start realizing and checking myself like, hold on, I don't want to be connected with anybody, hear me, that gets me to operate outside of what I'm designed to operate in. There's a difference. Sure. There's a difference. I don't want to. So I got to ask myself a question, practicality. I then got to look at the fact of, are they getting me to operate outside of who I really am? If I'm a giver, but this person got me being stingy because they're like, you keep giving and you're getting your heart broke. It's designed for me to get my heart broke. Givers are always going to get their heart broke. It is a mandate to your call. So if she's getting me or he's getting me or my circle is getting me to operate outside of what God has called me to be, then I got to let it go. Practicality. Ask the question. If they got me operating outside of what I'm destined to be, got to let it go. And then the third thing is, I think I've got to internalize this. I think I've got to internalize who I really am. Because if I can internalize who I really am and come to a place of understanding for what I am, then I would almost start to incline to believe that there will be something about my friends that would ultimately show me that we really don't need to be connected in this season. Elijah hit it the best. The sons of Issachar new times where I fault people and this world, because I don't want to just put it on the church, is we don't understand times and seasons well. Because we let our humanity, hear my heart, we let our humanity overtake the spirituality to where we're supposed to rest in certain times. This is why many of us suffer from letting go certain things, because when it's time to move on from that church, our humanity, I just love it here. But God's like, I understand your love, but what I need you to do is bigger than what you love, right? Oh my God, I love her. No. I know you love her waist, cute face, but it's time to let it go, because what I have for you is going to serve as something to push you into your next place. And so I just think that, oh, y'all flashing the mic on me. I just think
My God.
I just think that we've really got to understand, y'all crazy, where we are and unpack those three concepts there. Y'all wild, man.
Yo, can we get the deacon to bring this man of God some water? Yo, I was going to say though, to that same thing, I think one of the reasons that a lot of times we don't let go, because I truly believe that we can see and we can feel when things are coming to an end, when things are out of sorts. I think that one of the things that really keep us from that is our wholeness. All right. And when I say that, I say to say a lot of times, or sometimes I can speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody else, right? But coming up, I think that some of my friendships were based off insecurities. And so my friendships became my security blankets. I added pieces to me and connected to things that I felt accentuated or covered up my scars, or that helped me hide my insecurity. So even, I even got into gangbanging, stuff like that. I got into things that covered up my scars that the little boy had. So my friendships and the activities and the interactions became cover-ups. I became a sheep in wolf's clothing, if you will. And so what I recognize is that a lot of times we hold on to things based off of those insecurities because we're either afraid or we're apprehensive of what we look like naked, what we look like by ourselves, or in a space where we have to show our authenticity. And so with that being said, I think that we can recognize a lot of times what's going on. I think those inhibitions and those insecurities keep us from really allowing God to move the way he's trying to move. And like Elijah said, I rather do it right the first time than get sat down, because I've had to sit down before. I've had to be moved around before, and when God moves, God is gonna move. Okay. So with that being said, I think we have to really take the chance and take the risk of finding out who we are without those security blankets. And so you talk about practical ways. That really just comes down to really humbling yourself to the idea like, this is not for me. And now I got to really stand up and put on my big boy pants, or for the ladies, your big girl pants, and really say, you know what, enough is enough. Because I want what's for me. I want what's for me, and I want things that are healthy for me, things that grow me, things that better me, things that shape me in a positive way, things that encourage me to grow, and things that really help motivate me. I think that's another thing too. We got to really find the motivation for it, because a lot of times we stay in things that are comfortable. I mean, I think that's the human nature. We're creatures of habit, which means that our response to things are based off of things that we continuously do. So sometimes feeding into what is negative, feeding into the things that don't necessarily benefit us, become the unspoken habits. But we got to start building new habits. And sometimes the new habits that we have to build is standing up for ourselves and standing up for our future. And sometimes that means letting people go. And I think that's just a simple conversation. Now, the old me will just, put you down and not pick you back up, okay? But I believe that it's necessary, it's important for people to understand where they are, so that they have an opportunity as well to see themselves. And because if we're gonna be friends, I gotta be your mirror. That's something else I wanted to share today. Is if we're gonna be in a circle and we're gonna be friends, we gotta be each other's mirror. And so if we're in a place where I feel like things are are not healthy and things are coming to an end, I got to reflect what's going on. So I'll tell you, like, this is where we at, and this is what's going on. And this is why, I feel like this is in a position where we got to let it go. So we're going in different directions. And sometimes it's just that simple. I think we're going in different directions, man. And I love you, you know what I'm saying? But, this is what I got to do for me. And I feel like we're not moving in the same place. So, I'm going to be praying for you along the journey. You feel me? But yeah, I just wanted to add that though. Sometimes it's not that we don't see. I think a lot of times we allow people and our relationships to become our security blankets, and we've got to get out of that.
That's a great point made. All the input that y'all just put into that question, I think we could have taken a whole nother hour for the conversation. And I appreciate all y'all perspectives. Corey, I know you had a question right before Bishop Fletcher asked. Did you still want to ask that question?
No, man, I'll skip on that question. I'll be what I am traditionally on Clubhouse, and I'll be the person with the different perspective. So I want to add a different layer. Pastor Bishop Fletcher, thank you so much for the question. I'll say the reason that it is a challenge for us to practically break up with people in friendships or relationships, because it seems to me, according to scripture, that maybe that was a problem for God himself. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. Because how many times, Bishop, did the children of Israel defy God, but yet God still made contentions for them? How many times let's just go to Genesis, to the very beginning, when Adam, his son, Cain, Abel, death, he's going out, but he said, I'm not gonna let nobody else touch you. Y'all know the scripture.
Yeah.
So the reality is, even while departing, God made concession. The children of Israel, he fed them with manna, and there was a fire, and y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And so, Bishop, I'm just sitting there thinking, and I agree with Dwayne, I agree with Elisha, I agree with Ryan, I agree with all of that, but I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, God never really broke up with us.
I like it, Corey. I like it.
So maybe the challenge for us is because the God nature in us wants to continue to give people chance after chance after chance after chance. And so you challenge me because I don't know a practical way to break up with somebody, not break up female and male, but talking about friendships, right? Because once you are a friend, that means you've gotten inside of me. And once you've gotten inside of me, it's hard to get you out of me. I may act like you're not there. Come talk to me quick, y'all. Some friends that you ain't talked to in a while, but you still remember their birthday. You still remember their friend's birthday. Come on, y'all, talk to me. So it may not necessarily be a good practical way. And so sometimes if they're a friend, maybe we don't end the friendship. Maybe we just create space and give them the grace and the space to grow. Come talk to me. Some folk that's lived a couple of decades because you have people that you were friends with, and then y'all weren't friends, and then when y'all saw each other, y'all was right back friends because he grew and she grew and y'all grew, and now we're friends. And so maybe, Bishop, that's not really a practical way to end a friendship. Maybe you just give them space. Yeah, I'm talking from experience, Bishop, because just recently, a friend of mine who was a really good friend of mine when I was single, enjoyed Pastor Ryan, enjoyed Pastor Dwayne. He enjoyed the single Corey. But now that Corey is married and I live married and my wife and my family is priority, he found himself running where he wasn't really my friend. But he just recently called me, like literally 3 days ago, and said, bro, I got a bone to pick with you. Watch this, Elisha. And I said, I love you too, bro. And his next text was, Negro, you already know I miss you, right? Because when you're friends, you understand when somebody is saying something, even when they ain't saying something.
Come on.
I'm gonna go on mute. I just wanted to throw that out there.
How about this? How about this, Corey? How about the disconnect is illegal? How about the disconnect is really just a reassignment of access? How about I really don't have to draw a line? How about I just have to preserve myself in this room?
That's good.
How about there's really no breakup? There's really no breakaway. How about there may just need to be a little bit of space? I love it, Corey. I love it. I don't think after you
I
get,
like to shake stuff up, Elisha.
Bro,
You know, I'm the shaker.
No, I love it. I love it. And one thing, let's think about
first you was being protocol, then you became the shaker.
Yeah. Let's think about this. If you get divorced, there are some things that this person has seen that they can never unsee. There's some things about you that they know that they can never not know. Like there's some, it's just, and it's, we've been making the correlation with friendships and significant other relationships. It all has those same type of bonds. And the truth of the matter is the only thing that can fix the hurt that this relationship caused is space. Once there's space and healing, there really can be an amend. There may not ever be the same amount of access, but we might be able to come together in some kind of level at some point. You just have to have, I go back to God, you just have to have the level of maturity to understand what needs to be done, situation present.
Because Ryan, I'm Ryan, as Bishop Greg Davis would say, keep your mic unmuted. I'm coming to you.
Okay.
But, listen, man. Because sometimes there doesn't need to be a cutting off completely. Sometimes there needs to be space because most
is that sometimes you're because, and I don't want to bring our clubhouse conversation on, but and I'm hearing what you're saying.
No, this is good. We get ready to go over the clubhouse. This is good.
Because what I'm thinking, I think there are certain people you need to allow the wheat and the tear to grow together. But would you say there are times where the cutoff is needed? At what point is the cutoff absolutely mandatory that I have to disattach myself away from you because my future is much bigger than where we are? I mean, what is that cutoff point?
The space comes in when the negative outweighs the good. Now, mind you, depending on who you are, you might have room and grace for less. I've noticed in these last couple of years for me, my tolerance is at an all-time low. All-time low. There are some things that I could put up with before that right now I absolutely cannot. I can't deal with it. I can't stand it. Whatever this level is of whatever I think and whatever I need, whatever I desire. But here it is. It's really the level of awareness. And because now I know what I didn't, I won't put up with what I did. At the level, when you get to that level where you understand what you need and you're aware of whatever it is that you need, want, and cannot have around you, when you recognize it, you can point it out and you can dismiss it from your presence. It becomes easy. Here's the truth of the matter. It becomes easier to deal with once I've dealt with. There's some things about a divorce that I will never understand. There's some things about marriage I will never understand, but somebody that gets remarried, they're going to be able to see some things and know some things in the first, second, third month that I won't be able to recognize till maybe year one or year two. Why? Because they're seeing something that they've already seen before. Sometimes when we see some things that we've already witnessed, some things that we've already dealt with, and here it is. Here's where it gets good. Some things that we have grown from. Because a lot of us just deal with things and then we go and tuck it under the bed. A lot of us deal with things and then we go and throw it in the backyard. And the truth is you cannot gracefully cope with things, or you cannot gracefully live with things that you have not dealt with and grown from. I'm not dealing with this from the place where I was. I'm dealing with this from a grown position. And from this position, I know I can't deal with that because that does this to me. And Ryan, the cutoff happens, the break happens, the access stops. When I understand that what you're bringing to the table is detrimental for me, either because I've already experienced it or I have the awareness to know what I need and what I don't.
Elisha, can I humbly suggest that if I had to put in one word what you just said, Ryan, I think for me, it's just Corey. Aisha, this is just Corey, Ayo, Siobhan, this is just Corey. I can't speak for everybody else. But when respect is gone, we got to cut it off. Now, when I say respect, respecting who I am, respecting what I do, respecting what I have, respecting where I'm going, respecting my thoughts, respecting my morals, respecting my beliefs. And when you start to disrespect my standard, at that point, we can no longer be friends. Now, the reality is, it is much easier said than done. I can give a hard pause to our friendship. But if God down the road allows you to grow and whatever, and you're able to respect it, then I'm not going to
That's good.
Eliminate you from rekindling. You follow what I'm saying? Because reconciliation is key. But I'm not running after it, Ski. What I'm saying is, once you disrespect or you don't respect what the boundaries I've set up for my life, then we got to cut it off. And I got to let you go. I got to go let you go with God and find Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's good, because some of us can be on the, and I know we got to transition off, but some of us can be on the opposite of the extreme of quick to cut off. But the reality is that God is working on their heart just like he's working on yours. So you got to have that discernment to know who I need to cut off immediately or who I need to allow, like you said, Corey, the grace to grow. But no, that's good. That's good. I took something from that for sure. Cause I cut, well, I can't say that. I cut somebody off quick, man. I think one of the things that God is doing, he's just teaching me, there's a grace. You got to allow that grace, because the reality is we've invested time in this friendship. And so I can allow you that space to grow. That was good.
So Ryan, that's the reason I wanted to say it. Christian, I know you're finna cut us off, but that's the reason I wanted to say that, because I know it's people in this audience right now, and we live in the middle of a cancel culture where the moment somebody does something we don't like, we cancel them. But that is not a God nature, right? And so we've got to be able to endure. Friendship, Ski, is longevity and long suffering and enduring things. And so
that's good, Corey.
We just got to be careful that we don't mishandle a great friendship because a person was in their season of growth, right? Because we all go through seasons of growth and transition and maturity and so forth and so on. So we don't want to miss that and cast somebody away only to discover that you cast this person away and they became great. And you missed out on an opportunity to be part of that journey, that process, because selfishly, if you didn't align with what I wanted, I was going to keep you to the side. So I'm sorry. I see you. Anytime Christian started leaning towards the camera, that means it's time to go. Okay, so my bad. Go ahead,
no, you came with the biceps. You came with the biceps, okay? That was strong.
Honestly, brothers, like, this has been probably one of the most fulfilling conversations I've been a part of. And it's not over. Like they've said consistently, there's a part two.
Christian,
after
man,
part.
you gotta link up, man. This is every day for us.
Hey, we're going to church, brother. We're going to Clubhouse to finish this conversation.
We about to go to the club and do this right here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My actual church service started at 6, but I'm gonna be in the office talking to y'all. Praise God.
Come with me. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, I got you. But brothers, I really want to say thank you for your input, for your perspective and providing it in such a unique and effective but real way. Thank y'all for taking the time to come speak to this audience. To the audience, thank y'all for coming and listening to this conversation. I'm gonna pass this off to Miss Asia, but thank y'all once again. God bless.
Hey, y'all. So real quick, fellas, your favorite song, give me 3 words from it real quick. Your favorite song, whatever it is, I just need 3 words each real quick. Real quick, go. Christian, you know where I'm going with this.
Brenda had a baby, but Brenda barely had a brain. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so which one you going with? Barely had a brain? That's your words. Okay, I got you. Okay, Christian, give me your 3 words.
I can't say mine because you just threw out songs that I just thought of something and it don't sound right, so I'm not sure I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
My song requires the whole line. It's PJ Morton. No one makes me feel the way you do inside.
No one makes me feel the way. Come on, man. That's my jam right there, bro.
How many words is that?
Okay.
That's over 3.
Okay. What you got, Sky?
Man, that's tough right there.
Boy, you better
My
act like you
favorite
singing
song?
for Cora, boy, and spit
My
the words
God,
out.
my God.
Come on, fellas.
If I'm gonna sing it to my wife, no matter what's going on,
Well,
we
never
can work
mind
it
it.
out.
I
PJ Morton.
digress.
Okay.
Oh,
PJ Morton right there.
let's go.
Okay.
Well, that's the
That's
same
still more
word
than
as
3 words.
Dwayne.
No,
What were
that's
your
different
thoughts?
words. He said we can work it out. That's another song.
Okay. Okay. Elisha.
Sumo
Elijah.
song is
All
sumo
right, he
song.
had to go. Okay. And Ryan, what's your 3 words?
Sumo song is God did it.
We'll go with
How great is our God?
so this is the best song. What, ask the question again.
Whatever your favorite song is, I just need 3 words.
I'm alive because there's more.
That brother is so saved. Saved.
Hey, I knew him and Sumo.
You got me, Christian and Angelica. I just need 3 words from you.
Oh Lord. I had the song in my head. Oh Jesus. Asia, I was looking to the mirror.
Oh, big fine woman.
What you was gonna say? Oh God, I don't know. I don't know,
It's
Asia. I
up,
like
then
you.
it's up, then it's up, then it's up. Go ahead.
Oh no, level up.
If it's up, then it's stuck.
Level
Okay.
up,
But y'all
level up,
know
level
she's
up,
gonna be
level
real
up. That's
ratchet.
mine.
She's gonna be real ratchet. She's gonna be
Okay,
real
I
hold
just
on.
said level up. Level up.
She-
Level up.
Level up.
That's my level up.
Level
That's
up?
mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
Christian, you got me.
I'm gonna just go with do you want an encore? Do you want more? Because that's a Jay-Z one. I love that song. It just does something to me.
Ooh.
And it's a motivational. You know, what are you waiting for? Because after me, there should be no more. And that's how my life has always been. So I'll go with that one.
Okay, watch this real quick. How I'm gonna do this. In order for you to understand the power of your purpose and who's in your squad, you have to make sure they have a brain, because nobody can make you because nobody can make you feel the way they do inside. You're only alive because God is there. Do you really want to level up? Do you really want to encore? Can we work it out? Because if we can't work it out, then you can't level up with me. And that's squad goals for today.
All right.
And
Wow.
Hey, I love that.
Man, I missed it. I was on the elevator. God damn.
So we understand. So I'm gonna end it like this. I'm a PhD student. I dropped a survey in the chat. Please fill that survey out for me, because it's gonna help me with my PhD work, and I really need y'all's help on that. Second, every mail that's on the Zoom today, I am going to send you either TD Jakes' books, Drop the Mic, or Teray Roberts' Wholeness. You
Well,
have
2
the
people
strength-
on here don't need it. They already got it. But if you send the drop the mic, I definitely want to drop the mic.
Right, Drop the Mic. All the moderators that
No,
well,
we're gonna make
he
him
got
buy
an
it.
inside connection, you know. Sky and Corey Mike can get us some signatures on them, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to say that it took a lot to pull this together, and I'm always surprised how God works things out, because I was a little bit flushed about numbers, because sometimes the university presses me even as a PhD student, but who was supposed to be in the room is in the room. And so that's the same thing you have to understand about your squad. Whoever's in the room with you is supposed to be in the room with you. If they're not in the room, they were never meant to be there with you. So remember that. You don't have to keep going up and down. If God told you to level up, then stay up. Why go down? You know what I mean? As TD Jakes would say, if you're a giraffe, you eat from the top. You don't worry about what the turtles are doing below.
You don't worry about them turtles.
You don't have to worry about the turtles. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have our flight attendant, Angelica Williams, tell us what we're going to do next. And fill out that survey.
All right, everyone. Thank y'all for attending and joining. As Asia said, there is a link to the survey in the chat section. Please fill out that survey. We're helping her with her PhD. And just like she had this tonight, it was very rich. The word was good. I mean, everybody all in one room. You couldn't, this was free. And this was like a master's class times 10, and all the information. So all the jewels that was dropped on the ground, I hope you picked them up and applied them to your life, and you took some notes for them. We are going to the after party on Clubhouse, and this conversation will continue. Y'all, I hope y'all have an amazing, blessed day. Hope you enjoyed what you heard on today. Thank you to all the speakers, our wonderful moderator who did an amazing job. Y'all, this was off the chart. Who is in your squad? I bet y'all go do some evaluation on tonight. All right, Asia, back to you, y'all. But make sure y'all fill out that survey for her. Peace and blessings unto you.
All right, we'll see you on Clubhouse. I have dropped my email for every mail that's on the Zoom today. Send me an email with your address and I'll get your books in the mail. Well, Drop the Mic won't get out till Tuesday when it gets to me, but the rest of the books I have. And Angela Carter, please send me your address because I'm going to send you Ferocious Warrior by Cora Jakes Coleman. Is that what she says, Scott? Did
That's
I get it right?
That's
Of
right.
course. Thank you for believing in my vision. Thank you for pushing me into my purpose. I love y'all like a fat kid loves cake, even though I'm slim thick. To my pastor, thank you for coming out today. I appreciate you. And Christian, Christian, just if I can add this last piece, when I was going through a tough trial on campus, Christian was the one student that went to bat for me. And I cannot say thank you enough for being who you are in God, but thank you for being my advocate when the enemy was coming for me. So I'll see y'all on Clubhouse. Now, Clubhouse is the unedited version, so my boys are going to turn up. And just like Alabama football team, because we always win championships, Roll Tide, let's roll it over to Clubhouse. Oh, I'm an Alabama fan all day.
Oh my
Wait
goodness.
a minute. What was that?
Look, she ended like
That's how
that,
you
man.
was
We
my
was real
sister
good.
till you
Asia.
said that.
That was horrible. I
Good.
can't believe she ended it that way.
My
Look,
God.
thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Any final words you guys want to give before we cut out?
No, they waiting on us on
Okay.
Clubhouse. I already got it up. Let's go.
Okay.
Good
see ya.
stuff, Asha. Good stuff.
All right.
This
All right,
is
y'all.
great. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.